Mhm.
I'm Zaki Ahmad. So basically, I'm from Indonesia, a neighboring country. So I've been active in Python community like 2 years. So that's all about me. So when I'm in Indonesia, I used to organize the Python meetup in Jakarta. So we have like meetup every 2 months with 3 or 4 speakers in each meetup. We've been running meetup consistently around 2.5 years, but we're not planning to have our own icon yet. So this is my second chance to speak at Python. So previously, on 2014, I was speaking at Taipei, Taiwan, at Pycon MY. So on this session, I would like to share about my own weekend project. So basically, it's the Raspberry Pi projects, and you add the webcam, and let's see where it goes. So there's nothing new about Raspberry Pi. So for those of you who doesn't know about Raspberry Pi, this small computer is a credit card size computer. So it's a very cheap, like maybe you can get it in ringgit less than 150. Then you can start having some projects with the Raspberry Pi based on your excitement. So it's also provide for those of us that didn't fortunate enough to buy an own computer. So you can just use Raspberry Pi and connect it with the keyboard and the display monitor, so that you can have your own low-cost computer and start doing something with the Raspberry Pi. Even the Pi itself, it's what it's for Python, so Raspberry Python. So Python is already included in the Raspberry Pi.
Mhm.
So this is the old version of Raspberry Pi. I think they have launched the newer version of Raspberry Pi. So it has a USB port, HDMI port, and power supply, and they also have pins for those of you who like to explore more about the Raspberry Pi. You can use the pins to control like pulse width modulation and so on. So it also has the speaker out to listen to our sound. And with the USB port, basically it's very easy to extend your Raspberry Pi. Either you can use with the webcam in my case, or you can use with the microphone or anything else you want, or with the sensors like temperature, humidity, and so on. As long as you have the interface to connect with your Raspberry Pi. So why Raspberry Pi? Because it's cheap, so you can put it anywhere you like. This is a small computer, and you can build anything what you want. So just like Lego is an open-ended toys, you can build anything you want. So basically what I'm trying to share is one of the example, and you can explore more with your own Raspberry Pi and with your own problems. So my background to have this project is previously related about security, but this is a different security. So previously, before I work as a web programmer, I work as a security consultant. So I do like penetration testing. It's just some security stuff. So I check the system security, and right now I need to make sure that my home is secure, that my son is not playing with some dangerous toys and so on. So I might use this Raspberry Pi to monitor my living room, or outside the house and so on. So yes, just be creative. Just do what you want to do, and just solve your own problems. So in my case, I would like to monitor what's the situation on the living room. So this is the summary. So what I need is Raspberry Pi plus the webcam, and I also need the power supply. So you can also use the power bank for a specific of time, or you can use this phone charge adapter just to have the Raspberry Pi power supply. And then you need to get connected to the internet, and one of the easiest way is just to use the LAN cable. So the Raspberry Pi has the RG45 port, and if you don't have it, you can also use the USB Wi-Fi dongle, or if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can also use the 3G USB modem. But I haven't tried with the Wi-Fi and the 3G USB, because basically you need to configure your Raspberry Pi to dial and to have connected with the SSID and so on. But in theory, you should be get connected with those two other methods. So how it works? So this is what I'm trying to solve. This basically how do I this is basically just the log that how do I manage to complete this weekend project. So I need to capture the image, and then I use I need to capture the image using webcam, and then I need to post it to the internet, and then I break down into 3 steps. So basically just do it once manually, and then I do it repeatedly, and then we don't want to always do it manually and repeatedly by ourselves, so we need to do it automatically so that we can monitor easily. So on capturing image, there's an application called FS Webcam. So to do it once, you just need to type this command. So FS Webcam with the resolution that your webcam has, and put the file name on the last command. So this is the example of the output. So, and then that's if we want to do it once. But what if we want to do it repeatedly? So one of the easiest way to differentiate between one file and the other file is just to use the timestamp. So yeah, we can do it easily. This one I wrote the script using Bash. So yeah, this is the standard format that you can sort the image based on the timestamp. So you put the years, followed by month, date, hours, and minutes for the file names. And then after that, you put you add the comment into the cron. It's up to you how much you want to take the turn. You can do it every 1 minute with cron. If it is less than 1 minute, then you need to use the script, Python script, and either you can use the sleep function or so on. But for the cron tab, the maximum frequency is on every 1 minute. So in this case, I took a picture every 2 minutes. Okay, and as you can see, I have run it on the cron tab, and this is the list of the file names that that I've taken. So that's the date and the time. So in this case, it's every 2 minutes the fun name change. Then that's the first part. You have captured the image once and you do it repeatedly. And then the second problem to solve is how we can see the image, because we don't have the display on the Raspberry Pi. So one of the simple things to do is using the Python simple HTTP server module. So basically, just call the Python-m simple HTTP server. And it will become a simple HTTP server, and you can just download or you can see it one by one from your web browser, as long as you can access the Raspberry Pi IP address. And the other way is use SGP, and you can copy the file from the Raspberry Pi, or use either you can use SGP or you can use rsync. And that's if you want to copy or you want to display it on your web browser. What if you don't want to do that, and instead you may try to just push it to the social media? At first I was trying to push it to Twitter, but on the experiment I managed to push it to GitHub first, because the Twitter updates its API. So I just knew that GitHub can also display our image file, not only our source code. Basically, GitHub is a Git repository, so people usually use GitHub for store their source code, basically just the plain text. But later I found out that GitHub also can display, so we can display our image file.
Oh.
So how we can push to GitHub? We can push, then GitHub will challenge our password. Then I don't want to type a password because I want to do it automatically. So with GitHub or Git, we can use the SSH key authentication. So we don't have to type our Git password every time we want to make a comment. So I create this simple dash script, and then I run it, and I can commit without having to type my GitHub password. Then I tried this script running on the cron, and then the cron said that it doesn't have access to the SSH key. So I still need to figure this out, how to make this script run successfully by the cron. So it turns out the answer is I have to put the key in the key chain. So I add the first line at the script, and then I try to run it again on the cron, and it automatically will push the repo to the GitHub repository. So yeah, basically it's finished, because I'm done with the second problem. And then this time is for post it to the Twitter. So before we can post it to the Twitter using the Twitter app, with the 606 Twitter app, we need to create our own Twitter app. Basically, this is to have the tokens that we can use the API. So you can follow the instructions from the Twitter developer guide. So what we need is the token key, consumer secret key, and the consumer secret. With those 4 credentials, you can post Twitter from your command line. So you don't have to use your mobile app or computer, so you can use it automatically from your command line. So with this source code, I can post my image, which is captured by the webcam inside in the Raspberry Pi, and then I can do it, and then I set this script on the cron, and it will automatically has the picture on the captured by the Raspberry by the webcam. So every time I want to, every time I want to see how is my living room situation, so I just maybe open the Twitter and see the image on it. So the other idea of this implementation is not only on, you can maybe on the living room. So the other idea is maybe in Jakarta, because of the traffic, and you want to know how is the traffic inside, in front of your home, example, before you want to go out, just you use this Raspberry Pi with your webcam, and you point it when you want to see the traffic, and then you can see how's the traffic there without you have to go there. And if you want more pictures, then you just put more camera and you put more Raspberry Pi on it. So yeah, this is the example that I managed to post tweet to the Twitter account. After that, that's all for this time for my weekend project. So the other thing that I would like to think is do some like simple image processing, because when you capture the image like every 2 minutes, then which means we will have like 30 pictures in 1 hour. Then you don't want to manually see your pictures and see changes for just 1 hour. So for the improvement, maybe do like some simple image processing and make a trigger if there's big changes between 2 consecutive pictures. Then you just trigger, oh, there's big changes, then you see the pictures. But I haven't done it. I haven't any experience on image processing with Python, so and Raspberry Pi is a very low-cost computer, and I don't know whether Raspberry Pi is strong enough to compute image processing. But the idea is just use the Raspberry Pi for capturing images, and then maybe you want to process the image on the other side of the computer, which has a bigger computing interface. So yeah, that's all for my presentation. So basically this is just 2 resources that I use. So I created the presentations using a Python notebook. So yeah, this is the row of my presentation score, and then IPython notebook has extensions, so it's called NB convert. So you can convert your IPython notebook into presentation slides using this one is using refill GS and JavaScript. So you can get those fancy look and feel. And the other resources that I made for the Twitter, I use the 606 Twitter app to post images or to tweet using Python. And that's all for my presentation. It's very nice to visiting my neighboring countries, and I really enjoyed the nasi lemak. Thank you so much. Any questions? All right.
Not a question as such. You can use the Raspberry Pi to do that. So you can actually do facial recognition, but more about identifying a feature. Okay, so you're right that you need to be a little bit careful because it doesn't have great processing power. And the best way to do it is, rather than using a USB camera, buy a little Raspberry Pi camera. And part of the problem with USB cameras is because it's holding you all the time, you're using a lot of CPU cycles. If you buy a little Raspberry Pi camera, you'll be able to do basic things. So at least what
Raspberry Pi camera.
A human in your picture. Then maybe that might be a decision that you might do somewhere else in the process. If you want to know more about it, just look for Seeing with Python. It's a talk I gave in Singapore. So there are IPython notebooks that go with it. And you'll see a picture of the Raspberry Pi doing facial recognition.
So, can I have a photo of you guys? And actually, I'm turning on my Raspberry Pi, so maybe since it's not connected to the internet, so let's see how's the picture.
Very safely into a local port.
You got the pie? You got the camera? You got the pie?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether it's a worthwhile investment rather than getting just a camera with everything built in and just wire it up. If that is cheaper than no gremlins.